this lineup that New Wave has drafted specifically because of the Atlas and the Esmeralda buying some space for the Bruno. I'm expecting a lot of great things from Japa.
Yeah, we're going to see the damage going to be able, if it's going to be able to come out here. We are starting up. I think we've been a little bit more safer now. We don't see as much aggression on the buffs, but we do still at the top. We see that aggression, that cutting lane from Team Sexy there, and he's going to go ahead and transition over into the red buff.
Yep. Let's see if Rimuru wants to tickle Indo's orange, but it looks like it's not gonna happen. That is the purple secured by Indo, and I'm still so impressed as to how Indo plays this Dairoth jungle. Maybe I just haven't seen the right ones. So far, they are giving best player a run for his money, forcing Nicolette to play leash as well. Put a perimeter around the jungle, and we're not even seeing Little Wanderer just yet, unless it was taken so quickly already.
It was.
What happened?
We do see it does seem like it was taken by the side of Team Sexy there, right. And then it looked like that. The side of New Wave went ahead and put it down as well. We still have 30 seconds left on this turtle. Both teams being very respectful of each other's ability right now, but we might start seeing the engagements start happening as we move closer and closer to this first turtle, and we do see a little bit of an invade by Indo here at the top. He's going to be able to get that minion and get away.
Yep, it's a mirror attempted by best player, but there was Ziggy to answer back. Oogie shadow kill onto Ziggy. Not enough to get the kill on, so it was more just like a shadow. So Dogter here buying some time, but Team Sexy finds the angle, and New Wave has to give up this turtle.
Yeah, and a good pickup by best player there to get the turtle unanswered, and really not much done by New Wave there. Usually they're very good about countering. If they're not going to be able to get turtle, they're going to make it. They're going to make a value out of it. They're going to push, but we do see maybe a little bit of an engagement happening down here at the bottom. Warrior is trying to get away. Real world manipulation comes down. Warrior is taken down there, and Nicolette might have checked into the wrong bush. Is going to have to wings by wings away, but a good pickup and a first blood by the side of New Wave there.
Right, some camps and a kill onto the Matilda. The trade by New Wave for that turtle. Let's see. Oh, Indo gets spotted.
Yeah, we do have that feathered airstrike. Is gonna put your money where your mouth is there, and down goes that Dairoth. We were talking about that mobility issue that he does have, and it's gonna be probably a little bit more of a problem as we start moving in, and that cooldown does get reduced for that feathered airstrike, because he's gonna be able to put on a lot of damage to him, especially if he's not gonna be able to get away there. A little bit of damage coming onto Warrior there, and they are gonna go ahead and protect this tower, take down this minion, but a little bit of gold is taken down, and Warrior just kind of harassing Japa up here, letting him know, yeah, I'm still around and we're still here, trying to make him scared, or not scared, but letting him know that you're gonna have to respect these bushes when you're playing against us.
Speaking of bushes, look at how Nicolette is on the corner of that bush, not even hiding. Like, she knows that they have to respect her, and oh my god, showing us exactly why she is one of the most prolific mages in NA, pushing that gold lane, making it unsafe for Japa, who's holding on for dear life, 1 HP in a dream. Team Sexy's not letting this gold lane breathe, man. New Wave has to think about how to answer back.
Yeah, and right now, New Wave there was a good set there. Oh, Tamal coming in there. Real world manipulation coming onto gold. Is he going to be able to get away? He does, and is able to put some damage onto Tamal. But man, we do see this turtle, meanwhile, being taken by Nicolette and Rimuru, setting it up so that Hayabusa can go ahead, get in there, put on the damage, and pick up this turtle without much of a contestation by the side of New Wave. And they are moving up and spreading this lead to just beyond 1K at the 5-minute mark.
About 440 where we're seeing. We'll check the items later on, but oh lordy Lou, Indo getting squished as the Dairoth. And again, just a minute ago we were here in gold lane. Team Sexy was all here. Now they're still here. They want to make sure that Japa doesn't get anything built. He's far from a first item, and I'm thinking, oh wow, an early Clock of Destiny into, I'm guessing a book might be what Nicolette is building up next, and there's the Blade of Despair for gold.
Yeah,
Private, we're not letting go.
Yeah, when you see that Purify coming down there and looking for some damage, Japa is going to use that flicker in, is not able to secure the kill and goes down there, as well as Tamal being taken down with Ziggy at the side there. So a great play by Team Sexy there, not letting up onto this gold lane and punishing that kind of lackadaisical early game that we usually get. But up at the top, we do see Rimuru is going to get taken down from the tag team of Dogtor and Indo.
Because of that trade up top, I was gonna say, oh, at least New Wave has something, but no, not at all. New Wave is down. And Team Sexy is stonks right now. They traded 2 turrets for 1 dude. And Rimuru should be taking that trade all day. I think if Rimuru can force that, then they would win. Like, if they take this to the 10-minute mark, there would be no base for New Wave. But that being said, it looks like New Wave, again, found some breathing room, and I'm not sure if this is the right way to do it, but anything to give Japa any space and farm should be the way to go. The Bruno dream isn't dead quite yet, still not a meme.
Yeah, we do see that Fatal Link's coming down with the slow. Rimuru is going to be taken down here by Japa. Feather Airstrike comes down, but it is not soon enough to put on some suppressive fire, as Rimuru is going to catch an easy way back to the base. We do see that Circling Eagle coming deep into the line onto Japa, but that real world manipulation comes down, and down goes gold, and Japa traded there. Indo is dangerously low as Ziggy goes down, and Dogtar coming in to try to fend off this fight, and is going to be able to protect Indo and his escape.
He was so close to becoming Indon't. So far, I'm so happy that at least the Dairoth can breathe. Again, one more look. Starting off with Warrior, spacing out the rest of Team Sexy. Oh, sorry, Team New Wave. To allow for that turtle. And I think that shield, that turtle shield really bought it for Team Sexy, and that allowed them to push in a little deeper and reclaim that lead. Ooh, Scarlet Phantom onto Japa right now. I am looking forward to seeing a swing back from New Wave. That's usually the thing that allowed them to win in the late game in last week's matches, but now it's like Team Sexy's not allowing them to breathe and get that back. So far, it's up to New Wave. They have to be a little more disciplined. They're still not out of the woods.
Yeah, but this is something that we have seen from New Wave time after time, is they will bank on that late game. They'll be patient. They'll wait for those fights. They'll wait for those mistakes, for somebody to check a bush, for somebody to make a play that that the rest of their team, that the rest of Team Sexy is not ready for. And it's going to come down to whether or not Team Sexy can get that lead. We do see that Falling Starman coming in, and we do see that Feather Airstrike coming down quickly, dispatching, but a Fatal Links comes down, purified out of it, and that's where we see these Purifies coming in, very patient with it, and an answer that could have gone hairy for them. Indo taking a lot of damage from that shadow kill, and best player able to take him down as they are putting the boots onto Japa, as he's going to have to flicker away and get zoned out. Are they going to be able to pick up this tower? They are trying to put the boots onto it, not going to be able to get it just yet, but down at the bottom, we do see that gold is going to go ahead and push that lane in, while the rest of Team Sexy on this Lord. And this is what they have been, this is what we were talking about, what they needed to do. Keep on this early game pressure, keep it in their face, and don't let up. You can't give them any breathing room, because the moment you do, the moment you make a mistake, New Wave is going to come barreling down on top of you and close this game with a quickness.
Yep, so that's what Team Sexy saw, and they read into it, and it seems like the call was, let's just get as comfortable as we can get. They're sitting on lazy boys. They got their their cotton slippers on, and they're wearing just bathing robes, bathrobes. I'm comfortable out of my mind, because looking at their draft, it is not at all a 2022 draft. So that means they are just playing off of pure instinct, and I love how they are just threatening a finish here. There's a Lord down bottom, and Nicolette is blasted 2 waves, 2 lanes at the same time.
Yeah, that perfect setup in between with that feathered airstrike. We do see that circling eel come down onto Tamal. Is only able to catch one with that fatal links, but down goes Tamal. Is able to take down best player. Down comes the real world manipulation as they are trying to disengage here. Are going to go ahead and pick up this tower. Is Rumuru at the mid there? Are they going to be able to close? Is this what you want? Is this engagement what you want so far? You got to be patient. We do see up at the top, they're going to go ahead and change their focus up there. All the lanes starting to come in. A falling Star Moon does go wide and is punished by Nicolette there with that feathered airstrike, and they lose another one. And this has swung 13-6 in favor of Team Sexy with only, well, with one inhibitor left on the side of New Wave.
And that's what happens when you're playing super comfortable and you're presenting this much damage as Team Sexy. You're forcing New Wave to play where they're not comfortable, right? So it's just yin and yang. We're so comfortable, we're doing exactly what we want, and New Wave is forced to answer back and play off kilter. This is not their tempo, not at all. You see how Dogter was forced to go in and Falling Star Moon, and then Japa was like, all right, let me kick in. And Team Sexy, all Nicola had to do was feathered airstrike in your face. And look at this, a one-man hit with the fatal links, and they did get it, but at what cost, right? They're not gonna get away with this. Look.
Yeah, we do see them. The shadow kill does latch onto that. Bruno Dogger is trying to disengage there, so they do answer that kill onto Nicolette with something of their own as Japa gets taken down, and they're going to go ahead and pick up this blue buff as well. They're still in a great position here. Still 20 seconds left on this Lord, and they're going to be able to pick up a Luminous Lord potentially here as we move into the 12-minute mark.
It's so difficult to be New Wave right now, and it's so counterintuitive, the way that they have to answer back, because they need some discipline, all the discipline that they can. If there is going to be a Game 3, they need to borrow some discipline from that Game 3, loan it to themselves in the past, today, right here in the present. Their time travel is tricky business, but all I'm saying is they need to play more defensively, and that seems to be out of the question, but they do get 2 kills!
Yeah, we saw the feather airstrike come down, but then the flicker into the fatal links, able to catch 2 members of Team Sexy. And I don't even know who that Lord went to. It did go over to the side of Team Sexy, so they are able to pick up the kills, but they do not pick up this Luminous Lord. But Team Sexy is not going to get much value out of it. They do only have 3 members, unless they can kind of make something magical happen out of this push, maybe synchronize these lanes. But I mean, you see the rest of New Wave kind of chunking up at that top lane.
Yeah, so in the long run, I'd say a shutdown is good. And oh, the burst, put respect on it, Ziggy says. Ziggy taken down best player, caught out of nowhere. This is going to be an easier defense than that last Lord. So I'm guessing New Wave is still in it. New Wave shrinking that gold lead. I mean, by no means it's still a position that you want to be in, but at least it's better than how they've ever been in the past 10 minutes, going into what, 13 and change.
But this is what we were talking about, is that discipline toward the late game that New Wave has and their ability to kind of capitalize on these mistakes. And this is what Team Sexy is kind of falling into. They got maybe a little too overextended. That feathered airstrike, I don't even know if that's overextended, because Atlas came out of nowhere with those fatal links onto Nicolette. There wasn't any better positioning you could have had there. And then they did get captured with it. But what the problem was is after that, and what you did after that, we had Hayabusa, we had a best player kind of going in for that shadow kill, but there really wasn't anything you were going to make happen. You weren't going to be getting anybody down there, and all he did was kind of set himself up to be kind of taken down as well. So I mean, they still, nobody's out of this matchup yet, so it's not the time to get greedy.
Either way, yeah, but the punishes are so much harder on Team Sexy. Like, if Team Sexy loses 1 and New Wave doesn't, then all the more the comeback is going to hurt. As for New Wave, they've been on the back foot for the longest time in this game, and they can get used to this. It's just a matter of learning when to switch gears. But for now, they have to accept the fact that they are not in the driver's seat. So that sounds That sounds weird. Like you have to switch gears, but you're not driving. Anyways, New Wave, they still lack even core items on their main core, on Jappa. I did see his last item slot was still empty, but wait. Oh, Fatal Links!
Fatal Links, what you do, it is answered by that feathered airstrike coming down. We do see that best player gets taken down there as well. Warrior in a little bit of trouble here is going to activate that circling eagle. Is going to be enough for him to get away. A pause and a stun issued out by Nicolette. We do have a torn apart memories. Is going to take Dogtar dangerously low, but not enough to really warrant a full disengage there as they are waiting. You see Tamal kind of hiding in this bush, kind of letting them know, I'm here. I dare you to go for this Lord right now, because he's going to answer it with another stun and maybe a Fatal Links there. We do see that feather. Oh my God, Fatal Links does land on the 3 members of Team Sexy, but the damage is being done to that Atlas. Tamal trying to get out of there as answered back by a real world manipulation coming down onto them. Luckily, none of Team Sexy go down for that, and they are going to be able to pick up this Luminous Lord.
Again, another Lord, third of the game. Still doesn't have the Thunder and Lightning, but just the same. New Wave did not have the ults on time. Like if it was Fatal Links into Real World Manipulation, into Wave of the World, then yes, Team Sexy would have been but dust. But New Wave, again, you can see how there's some frustration. I can sense the frustration in the way that they're playing, and still, we're lacking that one last item in that core, in that Jappa Bruno. For Team Sexy, they're all built. They're all set up, and now they just have to focus on taking down this last inhibitor and then going from there. Playing like that boa constrictor that New Wave was in game number 1. Now, the shoe's on the other foot. They have to switch gears one more time. They have to adjust, and they have to accept the fact that, all right, guys, hunker down. We have to play D.
Yeah, and it's going to come down to the communication there, too. Like you said, they didn't have their ults ready yet, but Tamal went in there. We do have this wave crashing in at top. This is going to probably spell the end of this top inhibitor right now, and they are crashing in. We're trying to zone them out with this real-world manipulation. We do see that immortality activated. Jappa's going to get the kill onto Rimuru. We do see that torn apart memories coming out there. So, like, not a lot of value, but they came, they accomplished what they set out for. Did Team Sexy. They took down the last inhibitor, and this is going to be a little bit more trouble for the side of New Wave, as we do have, I want to say, enhanced minions now that you're going to have to worry for every one of these long engagements.
What amazing, naglaing, mantap, all of the languages, muy bien, defense by New Wave. It was amazing. Now, they took one down and they survived. Yes, they gave up inhibitor, but I could not have asked for more. And now, oh, perfect chain of events. That's what we were looking for, Private.
Yeah, we do see Tamal coming in with that Fatal Links. Unfortunately, it does look like Nicolette was kind of caught in a bad way. Is going to have to wings back out of there, but they lose best player in that engagement. Tamal being a kind of a menace here. Warrior in a bad way here, caught a little far there. Oh, torn apart memories is going to take down Tamal, but we do see that circling eagle does not connect as he gets taken down quickly. We do see that immortality activated by Indo, but cleaned up as soon as he pops up as a welcome and goodbye again. So now we have a 3v3 New Wave versus Team Sexy here at the 18-minute mark.
Same story. You could copy paste what I said about the whole frustration and timing and switching gears from the past 2 or 3 team fights and then paste it right here. So now we're closer to evens. We're closer to this being a 50-50. Still, I give a little bit of the advantage to Team Sexy, seeing how New Wave is a little bit more, I don't know, playing with their heart on their sleeve. But just the same, if this keeps happening, if this keeps happening.
Goes down there, and we do see them coming onto this Lord. This is the most important Lord. This is the post 18-minute Lord right now, and this is not the position you want to be in with one player down. We are dancing around it. We have kind of dragged it out there. We are baiting right now, but we do see Jappa is going to go ahead and start with that big boy Bruno damage there. And oh no, we do see a Fatal Links coming down onto them, followed by a feathered airstrike. Look at all the damage going on to New Wave. Jappa is getting taken down there as Warrior dives deep into there. We are now latching on to Ziggy, but now we're zoning out. We aren't actually focused on the Lord right now. We do see Ramu is going to get taken down by that Eve there, so we are at a 2-for-1 trade in favor of New Wave right now.
Doctor curing Team Sexy of their disease of being alive. I love it. Esmeralda really is one of the heroes that build the pillars of NAMLBB, and it's because of players like Doctor that make that possible. Rimuru, he's amazing, right, Towns? But you need to hit people to get to say, but wait, come the fight!
Yeah. Yeah, we do see it come in there with that Fatal Link Smoke, but now we have the Feathered Airstrike coming down. Nicholas gonna have to disengage there as Tamal activates that Immortality. Down goes Indo at the hands of Best Player, followed by Tamal there. And now Warriors trying to zone out with Doctor. New Wave is in a bad way right now. That is 3 for unanswered kills for Team Sexy, and they are starting on this Lord. This could be GG for the side of New Wave if they can get this. Nicolette goes down at the hands of Joppa, so much damage. Gold gets taken down as well. I spoke too soon because, again, we are at even stakes here. 2 for 2. Every single time you think a team gets an advantage, it gets answered right away.
Okay, I can say now very clearly, we are at 50-50. Here is another look. At this point, I could have sworn it was over because a team fight that lasts that long, you have so many stacks with the torn apart memory, you really have to pay attention. But again, the fact that torn apart memory has already been spent, and then you see Wind of Nature triggered by Japa makes even players as amazing as Gold think twice, and you don't even have time to think. You're like, oh, this guy's kicking balls in my face. What do? Lay and die. That's what happened there, and now there's 3 members missing from Team Sexy, and New Wave's gonna finally have their first taste at a Lord. Private, this is a Lord that has been blessed by the god of thunder himself, Thor. Indo gets it!
Yeah, Indo has it, and right now we do see Ramu is going to go down here. This is not what you wanted. You give them the Lord, and now you gave them a kill. We do see that Feathered Airstrike coming down, and down goes, or able to flicker away, actually, was Tamal there. So they're not going to be able to answer this with a kill of their own, and they have an 18 minutes, like, luminous ×2 Lord barreling down through the bottom here, and this is going to be a dangerous game for Team Sexy here to be able to balance out the power of this Lord and then the possible pushes by the team. As you do see that Falling Star Moon is going to go ahead and come down there as Nicolette activates that Wings by Wings, but Warrior in a little bit of bad way. Look how much slowed she is. That Circling Eagle coming down there, followed by the Feathered Airstrike. The damage onto Japa as he does go down. Turn apart memories does take them dangerously low, but they are going to have to regen their health as this Luminous Lord barreling down at the bottom. It looks like they are making good short work of it, so they live to fight another day.
Oh, wow. Team Sexy, despite all of the shortcomings or those windows of, I don't know, lapse of judgment over the past 5 minutes that have allowed New Wave that Lord, they made short work of it. That Lord XD Class S double reloaded special edition was just taken down, man. Even with all the extra skills it had, the fact that Team Sexy had a clear go at it made it an easy defense. They lost, what, 2 turrets, top and bottom? Is that right? A mid lane turret too. I can't believe that mid lane tier 1 was still standing all this time. So yeah, we're past the 20-minute mark. Every death, every single death is going to be a punish. And these bursts from the core players, I'm talking about Best Player and Nicolette, they're gonna be all the more important to hide themselves. That's what I'm looking for. They have to hide themselves in the right bushes, because it seems like New Wave is getting better at finding out when their purifies are down.
Yeah, and we do see Best Player almost in a little bit of a bad position there as Ziggy's able to kind of come out there and almost gets caught on his return shadow there, but they aren't able to pick it up. And man, they're kind of getting a little spread out here as we do see Matilda in a little bit of trouble here. Warrior is going to go ahead and disengage. They're not going to go ahead and continue this, but in a good position right now. Both teams basically feeling it out, and Sexy in a decent position right now. They do still have the safety of those towers, but I don't think that's going to stand another Lord push right now. They only have 2 towers at mid, and then the inhibitors. We do see, oh my god, look at the damage. Just one hit drops a Japa down to a third of health, and here is the Lord, the prize that they've been waiting and so patient for here. And we do see we're going to go ahead, start the fight up at top. Japa does latch on with that shadow kill. Is it to come back here? We do see Tamal with that ability, oh my god, look at all the damage right now. Tamal is going to go ahead and latch down. Do they have the wings by wings to be able to get away there? But we do see Rimuru in a bad way. That is 2 kills for the side of New Wave as they are going to go ahead and start on this Lord. This might be it for them. This Lord right now at the 25-minute mark, especially with these huge death counters on the side of Team Sexy, and there's not much they're going to be able to do to counter this Lord push.
Yep, very hard to steal, very hard to come back from, but do note that there are still turrets standing for Team Sexy. Their base is protected by 1, 2, 3, 4 more turrets. New Wave has a lot of the map to buy back for. It's not over quite yet, but there is something I have to note, Team Sexy. It's their turn to get into the frustrated chair. I just invented this. This is meta analogy in my head, where like there's a chair, there's 5 of them, and then you get frustrated when you sit down there. And Team Sexy, it looks like they're the one who get frustrated because I can see that Nicolette's Feathered Airstrike off timer. The Kaka from Warrior, the Circling Eagle, it's catching the wrong people now. And again, I hate to say it, but best player, he's putting himself in the right bushes, but again, there's so many more answers than the threats he's presenting, right? Very specifically, how Japa just popped the Windtalker. The Wind of Nature, yeah. I mean, the Wind of Nature, as I was watching, it's like, oh, this is not gonna go well for best player. So now, worst case scenario, they lose 2 inhibitors. Best case scenario, they lose none of them, and they get a kill out of New Wave, maybe 2.
Yeah, we're seeing right now that Feather Airstrike isn't going to come down, and that is just such a great defense, especially that pick by Nicolette to pick up this Farja, because she's able to take down his minions. We just need to be able to take down that Lord. If you could take down that Lord, Nicolette's going to be able to finish the job, to be able to present that Feathered Airstrike to take down these minions quite quickly and from a decent yardage away from these minions as she's striking them. Warrior getting a little eager, is kind of pressing on here, letting his team know where they are at onto this blue buff, and I'm not sure this is an engagement that they want right now. They're going to need to have something a little bit more organized. No, Nicolette wasn't able to pick that up. I was about to say, but it would have been an amazing and maybe a little bit of a morale boost for the side of Team Sexy. But both teams, we're starting to get an even keel here right now. Even though the gold is, oh my god, we do see a real world manipulation come down there, followed by a fatal Lynx, and down comes the falling star moon. Oh! And the damage coming down. Tamal is able to survive though, and they do. That is still 5 players for both teams up here, as the New Wave is gonna have to disengage, but there's not much you can get out of that fight. They're gonna be able to lick their wounds and have enough time to get back to this Lord, as there are 30 seconds left. But a good engagement and maybe a little bit of a misplay by New Wave there.
Yep, both Tamal and best player got away with but 1 HP, and that's clutch. I think there's a small window for both teams to force the issue there, but again, we're slowly going into ultra double time overtime, wherein both teams, they've gone through their frustrated phase. They've gone through their "Mom, it's not a phase, you don't understand" phase, and they're going into, all right, this is do or die for New Wave. It's match point for Team Sexy. It's but step 1 in a long hill. But look this, Warrior in that bush got checked by Indo, and they can time it out. There's the Feathered Airstrike. Indo survives it, and Tamal walks away with his life. But look, what's this? This is Doctor, right? Oh no, 1v4. No,
Yeah, he is going to be able to get away from that, and this is what we start seeing, especially at that late game right now. It's going to be very hard, especially. I mean, honestly, I'm a full-fledged fan of Hayabusa. Maybe not checking some of these bushes. I know he is a firm believer in his shadow ability, but I feel like that's been upsetting this side of Team Sexy as they try to kind of clamor around it, or they lose their major retribution user there. And we do see Tamal is going to be able to flicker away, but we do see that best player goes down again, and this is going to set it up.
No.
Are we going to be able to kind of capitalize on this, as Atlas is going to have to return to base? That is a giant death timer on the side of best player there.
Colossal, and he's such an important part of this hopefully last part of the game, because even chat, I'm checking chat every now and then. It's like, oh no, somebody's ended. Down goes Ziggy. Do they find a trade? Nicolette's still alive.
Yeah, we do see that Nicolette does get taken down there. It's only Gold and Rimuru left, but I'm not sure if they're going to be able to make something happen here. Whoa, we do see that Tamal gets taken down with a torn apart memories, and this might be the breathing room that they needed as the Lord gets reset, but Gold is not going to be able to make it. He gets taken down by Jappa, and Indo is going to go ahead and latch onto this Lord. He's going to go ahead. I don't think there's going to be anything that's going to be able to stop him unless Rimuru is going to. Oh, actually, they're going to go ahead and stop. I'm confused. I think Indo is just as confused as I am of what they want to do here right now.
Your confusion, Private, is just as much as New Wave. For 2 or 3 seconds, they were like, so do we Lord? Or do we force the issue and try to get a penetration? Okay, understood. Let's just go for Lord now. And Rimuru, he has a dream here, man. He has a dream to steal the Lord, and it's gonna be denied. Knock up here, and he gets taken down. A wipeout, a delayed wipeout, but still a clear Lord take. Oh man, the last Lord that New Wave took resulted to nothing, actually. So now they have to go again. They want to go again, and it looks like the timers are going to allow them to at least maybe take 1 inhibitor, at least.
Yeah, and now you're not going to have Rimuru up for this fight as the Lord is coming in now. This might be a fight that New Wave wants, and unfortunately it feels like Team Sexy, this late game is just not in their favor for these engagements right now. It always starts off with the pickoff onto best player. We do see a little bit of a setup here. Luminous Lord is here. The Warrior taking a heap of damage there as this Lord tries to charge, but the tower is already down. Is there going to be anything to stop them as this real world manipulation comes, resulting in Nicolette having to use that wings by wings? This Lord is putting on the damage, and this is going to be it. New Wave is going to be moving on, and Team Sexy is going to be going on to the still have a chance bracket.
Private, New Wave just called in the last wave, and Team Sexy, again, probably the